DHS Secretary Mayorkas off to Eagle Pass, Texas to meet with Border Patrol personnel just 2 days before the House will hold his first impeachment hearing over his failures at the border. And ahead of this trip, a new DHS report revealing that more than 2.3 million migrants have been released at the border under the Biden administration. Thaddeus Cleveland is sheriff of Terrell County, Texas, and a retired Border Patrol agent, and he joins me now. Thanks so much for being here. I just read that intro. A lot of that sounds like way too little and way, way, way too late from the DHS secretary. What say you?
Hey, good morning, Todd, and thank you all for having me. You know, we continue to call it a crisis, but we're well beyond that. It's been past that. We're at a catastrophe. What we continue to see, just when we think it can't get any worse, it continues to get even worse. So, you know, this is something that I've said many times, it's solvable. And you're right. The administration doesn't want to do anything. We've got one more year of suffering until we get a new president, until President Trump comes into office and fixes this.
Now, you were with House Speaker Mike Johnson at the border on Friday. Here's what he said about impeaching Mayorkas. Listen.
I believe Secretary Mayorkas is an abject failure, but it's not because of incompetence. I believe he has done this intentionally. I think these are intentional policy decisions that he's made, and I think there must be accountability for that.
You're going to impeach the guy you need to negotiate with.
Secretary Mayorkas is not a good faith negotiating partner. He is unwilling to enforce existing federal law. Why would we believe that he would do any new provision? He's lied to Congress repeatedly. He's lied to me personally under oath.
Your reaction to what you just heard the speaker say?
Completely accurate. Look, I've watched almost every testimony of Secretary Mayorkas going up to the Hill, going up to Congress and testifying. We've all seen it. Very untruthful. He ignores the questions, answers it the way he wants to. You know, it's sad. How does this man go back to his family and look him in the eye and tell him he's doing the best he can do for the country? It's that plain and simple.
Nobody knows these issues better than you. You were a Border Patrol agent. You're now a sheriff. You're in this area dealing with this problem on a day in and day out basis. And you told our producers that sheriffs along the border are actually divided on the issue of border enforcement. That really surprised me. What have you found as you speak with your fellow sheriffs about this?
Yes, sir. So, again, you know, I just retired 19 months ago, and I'd still be a Border Patrol agent, but unfortunately our sheriff passed away, Santiago Gonzalez Jr., and I'm from this community, so I had the time to retire, and I retired. And, you know, I've always looked at our partnering sheriffs, and we've always had great relationships along the border. But as this crisis, as this catastrophe has continued to increase, and in meetings we have, emails we shared, you know, you have communities that are along the border are primarily Democratic communities, and those sheriffs want to make sure they keep their constituents happy. You know, I was part of the Texas Border Sheriffs Coalition, and I withdrew my membership because all we do is we talk through emails, and we'll have maybe a couple meetings a year. And we all agree to either disagree or we agree that the policies, which really there is no policy with this administration along the border, it's a free-for-all. And then we write letters. And we need more proactive processes here along the border. There is one, Sheriff Roy Boyd, who y'all have had on before. You know, he's using what the governor's given us through some funding and created a task force, operational task force that is tangible and has produced some real security along our border.
That is one of the most illuminating answers that we've heard so far during this crisis. Play that back if you want a real answer as to why it's happening. Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, thank you for what you're doing.